Hi everyone, this is Hiba from My Little Journal, and today I'm really excited to be sharing with you a flip through of my week in the life journal. Before we start, I just wanted to show you how I'm storing my journal. I got the Storyline Chapters from Heidi Swapp binder. So it's basically a binder that holds your storyline chapters. And I bought it back when I did my Me, Myself, and I journal. And I didn't need the whole binder just for this one journal. So I thought it would be a good spot for my week in the life. And I love that there's a lot of space in this journal to add multiple journals in. So I went ahead and stored my week in the life in here. Let's see, maybe if next year, if I end up doing another week in the life journal, I will probably end up buying another binder just for my week in the life, and this one can hold my storyline chapters. But definitely recommend it if you have not figured out how to store your week in the life. I definitely recommend the storyline chapters binder. As you can see, you can add multiple journals in there. So that is my binder, and that's how I store my week in the life. And let's get to the flip through. So I finished my week in the life a while back. I just didn't have the time to do a flip through and share with you my finished week in the life, but it's very chunky and very, very pretty. And I'm so happy that I actually documented a week in my life for 2022. I've never done this project before. I was really tempted to do it when I saw the journal that they offered on Ali Edwards' site. I think it's a great way for me to journal or try week in the life, just because I like to work in journals more than albums. And I feel like albums are just very overwhelming for me, especially a project like this where you're taking multiple photos, documenting multiple moments in a very short period. So I thought that this journal would probably work, and I went ahead and purchased it. I also purchased a small kit as well and was able to use the kit in my journal. And I really wanted to make sure that I used a lot of that kit in my journal and not have extra in my stash. I just don't want to have the extras. I always try to use my kits as much as possible and not have those extras just sitting in my stash. So one thing I knew I wanted to do was make this journal my own. And I threw in a few things that call on me and make me feel happy and brings me joy. I know a lot of people focus more on the photos, but you guys know how much I love stamping and I love to use my stash, and I also love photos. So I made sure to throw that in there and make this journal my own and make it as simple as possible so I can finish the journal in time. I did love that they had the days of the week in different colors. So I kept to each day and each color. So if Monday was yellow, all of my spreads had a hint of yellow. If Tuesday was blue, I stuck to blue. And I like that because it kind of separates each day. So I used my markers and my ink pads for that to bring in that color. My timeline, I basically filled out my timeline ahead of time. So every day I added all the journaling that I needed. So I filled out my timeline, my currentlies, my gratitudes. And then when I had time, I came in and put each day together separately. And so I printed the photos separately, just worked on Monday, and then moved to Tuesday. I kind of stuck to day by day and focused on that. Now for the gratitude and feelings, I went ahead and stamped the date and day on one side, and then the opposite side, I filled out my gratitude and feelings, used my stamps, brought in that yellow into those 2 pages, and I kept it pretty simple. So I was using my stamps to kind of tell the story of the day, and I even created these mind maps as well. I do mind maps in my Passion Planner this past year and have been really enjoying it. And my mind maps in my Passion Planner usually tell the story of the week, but for my week in the life, it was telling the story of the day. And basically my mind maps are using my stamps, stickers, and doodling which when you look at the mind map, it tells you everything that happened that day or important moments from the day, like swimming, driving lessons, Sabine applying to Georgia Tech, cleaning, FaceTime with a friend, just little things like that. And I love using my stamps for something like this. I'm a huge stamp lover, and I feel like if I only had stamps in my stash, I would still be happy just because you can use them in so many different ways. I also love that you can color in your stamps. A lot of our stamps don't have fillers, and that's okay if you have markers. I definitely recommend to use them. It's a great way to bring in color to something like this. And also, it's a cheaper way. Basically, if you didn't even have colored ink pads, you can just use your markers. Again, highlighting my current leaves just to bring in a pop of that color, the yellow, into my current leaves. And I just love that they had driving in the current leaves. That's very rare. They had the driving, reading, worrying, playing. I just really enjoyed these current leaves. These were a lot of fun to fill out. For my photos, I was using my Epson PictureMate printer, and I printed my collages on 5x7s. And it was so much fun kind of playing around with where my photos would fit and how to fill out the spaces where I didn't have a photo. And I'll show you in a bit, but I did make sure to add a 5x7 for what I want to remember. This kind of held my favorite photo from that day. And my photo taking was very simple. I didn't overthink it, you guys. I did my usual photo taking with a little bit of extras. So something that I usually wouldn't take a picture of, let's say me cleaning or on the road, maybe a photo of me going to bed, just little things like that. So I made sure to capture little moments that I usually don't capture. And I played with my collages and made sure to fill out the spaces where I didn't have a photo with stamping and my kit. So I was able to use those 4x6 cards from the kit as headers for my photos. I used some of the tags, I trimmed down 3x4s, whatever I could do to use the kit, I did. And I made sure to scatter in all the products. I did use some of my stash as well, but I tried my hardest to focus on the kit. I did add 2 5x7s, so I added one in the beginning of the week, and then by the end of my photo collages, I added another 5x7, a lot of stamping, and focus. And I also wanted to mention, just focusing on an occasion is fine as well. If you didn't have photos or didn't take as many photos as you thought you would, it's okay to focus on a moment throughout the day that you want to remember. Moving on to Tuesday again. So Tuesday is blue. So we're using a lot of blue ink here and blue markers. Again, using my stamps for my gratitude and feelings and doing the mind map. For this mind map, I changed it up a little bit and trimmed down a 3x4 to just add to my mind map. I also did use my Studio Calico Mega Date stamp. I love that stamp. It's a great way to add a bold date to your layout. For this day, I thought it would be fun to stamp out a quote, and I really love how it turned out. I totally forgot to do it again throughout the week, but I just love changing it up slightly from day to day, even with my photos. So a lot of my collages kind of look the same, but they're slightly different. I would probably throw in a 2x2 card. I'll use different stamps or different embellishments, but I kept with the headers every day, and I kept with little things like my large photos as well. So you can change it up from day to day, and it's not going to add too much work for you, and it's not going to overwhelm you, but it's fun to kind of play with your collages as well and change it up so your journal doesn't look like every day looks the same, if that makes sense. We're into Wednesday, and I started using the stamp set from the Paper Person shop. I love the stamp set. It's just basically words that you can stamp out, kind of telling your feelings. So it worked perfectly in that feelings section in my journal. And for my mind map, I started adding more stickers just to bring in a different color to my mind map, and I love how that turned out. I think this one's my favorite. just because I love that color, the tan, and that kind of lighter brown. That's a favorite color there. And so it was fun to add a pop of green in there. Getting into our collages and kind of trying to figure out where my photos are going to go and how I'm going to create these collages. One thing I did love about Week in the Life was capturing moments that I usually wouldn't have taken pictures of. So like doing the dishes, taking out the trash, like going to Target, I would totally take a picture of myself shopping, but I just liked capturing the extra moments that I usually don't add into my project life, or doing my hair. That was a lot of fun, and I need to be doing that more often. I think that was a lot of fun to look back on and see those moments that we take for granted and don't focus on throughout the day or the week. So Thursday is green, and we are using some green ink, still using that Paper Person Shop stamp set. If you didn't know, I do have a few process videos for my Week in the Life, and I'll try to link it up above for you. But I didn't share the last few days, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So I thought the flip through would help you kind of see the whole project as a whole and finished. And we are getting into our photos. And as you can see, my collages really change as I go, and I add different photos, and I tried really hard to capture moments that I usually don't capture, like me cleaning. And as you can see, I have a cleaning photo basically for every day. I just love a clean house, basically, and a lot of food photos because I love to eat. So Friday comes along, and I'm still doing okay, still stamping, still, journaling, doing my mind maps. I love that stamp from the Paper Person Shop with the eggs. It's just perfection. It's the little stamps that make me happy. And I'm still kind of capturing the moments, like just a Zoom meetup with my peaches, my YouTube members, reading. And you can see I still use some stickers and die cuts for my mind map. And I'm still feeling it and taking those pictures, gravitating to those little moments that I usually don't capture on a daily. And I'm still like hyped for this project, right? By Friday. But by Saturday, I'm so tired. I just want to get this project done. And I think a lot of people feel that way when you're documenting a 30-day project or a week project or whatever the case is. And you're going to see a big difference. So at this point, I'm stamping bigger words to capture one feeling. I'm not capturing all the feelings throughout the day. So I just stamped grumpy here. And I'm still doing my mind map. I actually really like this one. But when it comes to my photos, they shrink. So basically, there's not as many photos by Saturday and Sunday. And I'm just going with it. I want to finish my kit. I want to finish the project. So I'm just rushing it at this point. I love this photo of my daughter. She's been doing clay work. So I like that the tools that she uses is more focused on than on her. I really like that photo. And my photos get larger. I add more fillers because I don't have many photos and I want to finish the project. So basically we are at the end of Saturday, and then Sunday is like a want. Like I'm just, let's go for it. I didn't like the ink color that I chose for Sunday, even though it matches. But I think it's just not my color and I wasn't feeling it, but I just went with it because it matched Sunday's page, and which is okay. I do my mind map. I'm not feeling my mind map either. And my photos get less, and I don't have enough photos to fill out Sunday. And you're going to see my photo section kind of finishes pretty quickly. There we go. Again, I'm okay with this. I captured a few moments from Sunday. It's okay. But I feel like anyway, when you are documenting such a big project, by the end of the project, you're done and you want to get it over with. And I don't know, you just forget to take those pictures, which is kind of sad. But as I said earlier, I'm okay with it. I was able to kind of capture the rest of the week, even though Sunday was a fail. But you also have like pages in the back that you can add more photos or whatever. I didn't even bother with that. I think I had plenty. and I documented what I wanted to, and I love how this project turned out. I'm so happy they offered these journals. It really spoke to me. I don't think I would have done Week in the Life if it was just albums and they didn't offer this fun journal. This journal actually would also work for me as a travel journal. I love documenting my travels day by day, and having these days of the week here are perfect for that. So I might grab another journal and kind of document a vacation or something like that, but it's going to be a lot of fun to use as well as a travel journal. But anyways, I am done. I'm so happy that I finished my Week in the Life. I love how it turned out, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. And I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye.